Get ready to embark on a journey through a book that transcends common narrative. The Bible is not merely a recounting of the past but also offers an intriguing glimpse into the future of our contemporary world. I will demonstrate how this enigmatic text challenges logic and fascinates generations. In just a few minutes, you will begin to see the Bible in a completely new way, ready to unravel secrets that can transform your worldview. Join me, for the revelation begins now. Imagine that we are privileged to have an understanding of how all this will unfold. That is truly extraordinary. The great architect of the universe has not revealed to us the mysteries of tomorrow simply to satisfy our curiosity, but rather with a greater purpose, to prepare us for imminent events. He wanted us to be ready to face the crucial moment without fear and to interpret the signs correctly. Admit it, it is a true gift to possess this knowledge about the future that awaits us. Have you ever heard someone question if we are living in the last days? The truth is that the Bible mentions these last days, and believe it or not, we have been sailing these waters for 2 millennia. These days began at Pentecost, a crucial moment when the first prophecies about the last days began to be fulfilled. And you know what that means for us? It means that every generation following Christ must always be prepared, eagerly awaiting the Lord's return. Now, let's delve a little deeper into the pages of the Bible. This book is not merely a collection of stories and teachings, it is a true treasure trove of prophecies. Imagine that within the pages of the Bible are scattered 735 prophecies, with at least one of them speaking about the future every 4 chapters. From Genesis to Revelation, we find a continuous account of predictions, although it is evident that some books delve deeper into this sea of prophecies than others. And here's something fascinating, out of the 735 prophecies, 596 have already been literally fulfilled, exactly as the scriptures predicted, providing an impressive accuracy rate of 81%. And these prophecies were not just words thrown into the wind, some were made centuries before they came to pass. Given this, it's not a huge leap of faith to believe that the remaining 19% will also be fulfilled. The accuracy thus far has been unquestionable. Speaking of accuracy, the Bible has proven to be 100% accurate in all predictions that were supposed to have occurred up to the present moment. Of the remaining ones, the majority are related to the return of Jesus and the events that will follow. But how many of these predictions still await their moment of truth before the return of Jesus? Around 20. And here we are, attentive, observing these signs unfold one by one, before witnessing the great return of the Lord. Consider this, Jesus advised us to always be alert and in prayer. But what exactly should we watch for? It's not like we can spend our days staring at the sky waiting for some spectacular sign. No, that's not what he had in mind. He was teaching us to keep our eyes open to the events of the world, to pay attention to the signs he left for us. These clues are the crucial clues that guide us now. Imagine the scene, we're in chapter 24 of the book of Matthew, with the disciples curious and eager to understand. They asked Jesus what would be the signs of his return and how they would know it is near. Jesus, with his unmatched wisdom and clarity, gives a direct and revealing answer. If we go to the book of Revelation, we find an even more detailed and complex description. Returning to Matthew, Jesus provides a summary of the signs that will indicate his imminence. The disciples, seeking a moment of tranquility and understanding, approach him on the Mount of Olives. In Matthew 24 verses 3 to 36, there is an intimate and revealing dialogue. The disciples ask privately, "Tell us, when will these things happen, and what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age?" Jesus, always mindful of the need for his followers to understand the truth, warns, "Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming, 'I am the Christ.'" Let's delve deeper into this fascinating narrative. Jesus continued to warn about the difficult times that would come. He foresaw that many would be deceived by the false Messiah and that rumors of wars would echo. However, he advised not to succumb to panic, as these occurrences, however alarming, were just the prelude to what was to come, the beginning of the birth pains of a new era. The journey won't be easy. Jesus warned that his followers would face severe persecutions even to death and would be hated worldwide because of their faith. It will be a time of trials and betrayals, where the love of many will grow cold due to the increase of sin. However, there is a promise of hope. Those who stand firm until the end will find salvation. Jesus also mentioned the spreading of the good news of the kingdom throughout the world, a clear sign before the end times. He spoke about Daniel's prophecy regarding the abomination of desolation, a terrifying vision that would manifest in the holy place. He advised caution and swiftness in times of great danger, emphasizing the seriousness of the situation for pregnant women and mothers with small children. Then he issued a solemn warning: false messiahs and prophets would arise performing wonders to deceive, if possible, even the most faithful. Jesus advised us not to be deceived by these illusions. He compared his second coming to the speed and clarity of lightning, something impossible to ignore or be deceived about. Finally, he described the celestial signs that would precede his return. The sun will be darkened, the moon will lose its brightness, stars will fall from the sky, and there will be a great upheaval in the heavens. Then, the sign of the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and all the nations of the earth will mourn. He will come with power and great glory, sending his angels with the sound of a mighty trumpet to gather God's chosen ones from all corners of the world. Consider the lesson of the fig tree, a simple yet profoundly significant teaching that Jesus shared. When we see its branches become tender and its leaves sprout, we instinctively know that summer is near. Jesus also explained that as we observe certain events unfolding around us, we can discern that his return is imminent, knocking at the door. He assured that the current generation would witness these events and emphasized the permanence of his words, despite the transience of the physical world. However, he also highlighted a mystery: the exact day of his return is unknown to everyone except the Father. Let's delve into the 4 signs he revealed to us. The first sign is the occurrence of global disasters, wars, famines, and earthquakes. These events, although they have occurred throughout history, are becoming more frequent and intense. Jesus warned us about the spread of false Christs and Messiahs, especially in times of turmoil, from which these impostors may take advantage of the chaos to promote themselves as saviors. This is a reminder to stay alert and avoid being deceived by these false promises of salvation. Jesus instructs us to see these disasters not as signs of an imminent end, but as birth pains signaling the arrival of something new. This perspective shifts our attitude. Instead of despair, we should feel hope. While the world may be alarmed by these catastrophes, on the other hand, we should maintain a hopeful outlook, awaiting the birth of a new world. It's important to empathize with those suffering due to these disasters, offering help and support, but in our hearts, we should not be swayed by alarm. We are attentive to a greater purpose, a transcendent event that these signs herald. In summary, Jesus' advice is not to succumb to panic or disturbance, but to even find reasons for joy. By recognizing these events as harbingers of something new and grand, the second sign of his coming, he says, is not found in the world's disasters, but within the church. Just as the first sign was composed of global disasters, wars, earthquakes, and famines, the second sign also divides into 3 distinct parts, all related to changes within the church. The first aspect of this sign is persecution. Jesus warned that the church would be hated in all nations. This is a challenging scenario where we will face hostility and rejection because of our faith. The second aspect is even more provocative: a significant reduction in the size of the church under constant pressure of persecution. Many nominal Christians, perhaps even some true believers, will abandon their faith in this cooling of love and dedication, an alarming and discouraging sign. But there's an intriguing twist in the third part of this sign. Against all odds, the gospel will be preached to all ethnic groups. In this scenario, a smaller but purer church will emerge with a significant impact worldwide. This is a clear indication that even in times of adversity, the message of Christ will reach every corner of the earth. As much as false prophets pose a constant challenge in this process, offering deceptive teachings that promote a false sense of peace and comfort when they should be challenging and preparing the church for the difficult times ahead. Their message is seductive, as it speaks of ease and security, but it does not reflect the reality of the challenges we face. Jesus' instruction in this challenging situation is clear and unequivocal: perseverance is crucial for those who stand firm, for in the end, they will be saved. This is Jesus' advice to all Christians, especially when the church as a whole faces contempt and rejection from the world. But why does this happen? The answer lies in the parable of the wheat and the weeds. As both mature, the tension between them grows. Therefore, it is natural for Christians to face increasing pressure as the end approaches. As Christians, we are often perceived as strangers by secular society, leading us to face hostility as citizens of the heavenly realms. Our uniqueness sets us apart and often results in animosity. Jesus, for his remarkable difference, drew hatred upon himself, as stated in John 15 verse 19, where he mentions that we are hated by the world because we are not of the world, but chosen and separated from it by Christ. Experiencing contempt is never simple, and this leads us to the third sign of the end times, the distress of Jerusalem. This affliction will be geographically localized but will have deep significance. Here, Jesus references the prophecies of Daniel, particularly the figure known as the abomination of desolation. This character is central in Daniel's prophecies, being described as a tyrannical ruler who will establish himself in the sacred city of Jerusalem, proclaiming himself superior to all and rejecting any authority other than his own. His presence will have an impact not only locally but also globally, although his primary focus will be on the holy city. Jesus, finally, reveals the fourth sign of his second coming, which will occur immediately after the event involving this tyrant in Jerusalem. This sign will be so evident and defined that it will leave no room for deception by false prophets or messiahs. We will be fully prepared and vigilant, without the risk of being deceived, as we will know exactly what to watch for. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know who you'd like to see in our next videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. For us, you're not just another subscriber. You're the main pillar of this channel. Until next time.